Welcome back to the Ramblings of a Designer. We are a weekly podcast. We talk about the latest in graphic design news from around the web. Hi, my name is Terri, and I'm one of the co-hosts. I'm a UX UI designer from the Bay Area. I help bridge the gap between products and their end users. I'm here with Adam, who runs the podcast. So Adam, take it away.
Hey, my name is Adam. I'm a freelance designer from the San Francisco Bay Area. I specialize in visual UI design with a little bit of illustration. I like to give companies character.
Nice. So, Adam, foremost, are you staying dry?
Oof, a little bit. There's a storm, definitely a big storm going on. So if you hear it in the background, that's what's going on. It's not my audio quality; it's the sound ambiance. Today's also garbage day, so I had to go out and put the trash cans, and they've already got knocked over. So I don't know what are we gonna do about that. But I tried putting like logs, and it didn't work. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so I'm dealing with the weather.
Nice. So, any gripe of the week before we start?
Well, I was gonna say the weather. It's terrible.
The weather.
We don't. I live in a particularly windy part of the Bay Area, and so we're always having just heavy winds in general. But when we get storms, it's like a combination of really rainy weather and really windy weather, and so it's definitely an interesting situation. Also, there was an earthquake that happened this morning too, like at 4:00 in the morning. Kind of woke us up. So
I didn't even hear about that at all. So
it was on the East Bay, but we felt a little bit of it.
No, I mean normally it would be on the news, but anyways, all right, yeah. Well, rain is good. We all need the rain. So, anyways, how was your week?
Oof, this week was terrible. I don't know, I guess I was just so distracted in general. And so I really didn't do that much. I still read a little bit and I still drew a little bit, but just not on a very consistent basis. So it was just all, I don't know, it was just full of procrastination and distractions. But everything's kind of back to normal now. So hopefully the rest of the week will go a lot smoother. Still worked on my website, project, and didn't get anything from my other clients. So it's been kind of quiet, which is good. Yeah.
Got a break a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of a break.
Time to meditate.
Actually, I don't think I sent a file. I'll have to check my files.
You hear it live first, even if you forgot to do something.
All right, so I'll see. I'll probably send out an email tomorrow if I didn't get anything. All right. So Terri, what about you? How was your week?
It was good. I'm working on my turkey project still. It's coming along.
Gobble gobble.
Yeah, gobble gobble. You got that right. And then my web development class, I'm at 1.4. I am stuck on please don't laugh. But people are probably going to laugh when they listen about this anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But GitHub, I understand it hosts code, right? But when you try and find a file, where the heck you're supposed to download it? So that's where I'm stuck kind of at. So anyway, just before our session here, I was studying, and then I kind of emailed like, I've been staring at GitHub and staring at the lessons side by side, and I'm scrolling up and down. I'm like, I just don't get it. So anyway, I emailed them back. Like, okay, this part I don't get. But anyways, definitely learning about where you put for and where you put roles, ROLES, in your tags. I guess that helps with the screen reader, and then ARIA, if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, it's just the name of screen reader. And that, they have like certain codes to help with the screen reader. If the code, like if it repeats again, that code will help tell the screen reader to actually repeat if the text repeats. Okay. So yeah, so I'm really interested in web accessibility because I think it's really cool. It's kind of foreign to me right now, but I mean, not too foreign, but I mean, the coding part, that part is foreign. But yeah, it's really cool though. Definitely learning. I almost pulled out my hair about 2 nights ago because I was trying to figure out what was this, and I was like, you know what? I spent about half an hour looking at it, and basically, I'm looking at the code like, what is he talking about? I have no idea. I can't find it. And then anyway, I kind of gave up, so I emailed him. Emailed my tutor. It's like, I can't find it, and then he's all right here. It's like, oh, dope. Open eyes, insert there. So yeah,
I hate that. I hate when that happens.
yeah. It's like, I don't know. I can't see it. I can't see it. And what and what I notice is when we do our own design projects, right? The layout, we can see instantly, oh, that space is off, or that's 24 pixels, or that's 12, or that's 2, that's unbalanced, or the whole typography is wrong, or this is wrong, or that's wrong. But in code, I kind of gloss over because everything looks kind of the same. And basically, I have to put comments in my code on every single like component, so I don't get lost. I don't know if that's bad or good, but if anybody's out listening that knows code, let me know if that's a common practice, I guess, or that's just childish. I don't know.
No, commenting is super common. Like that's definitely one of the main tools that you use to help you out.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. I did do some reading. I did do a little drawing. Just practicing about 10 minutes. Just practice, just doodling. Nothing special or anything. But that's pretty much about it. And I watched some more videos just about presentations, about conferences. That was pretty cool. I liked it. Learned a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, Adam, any big news or anything like that?
Big news. I have for news, for just the headlines, I have 2 quick ones.
Ooh, drum roll.
Bing! One is Slack released their new logo.
I know, I saw it. It's gorgeous.
It's definitely an interesting shape.
Yes. And when you open Slack, it's like, oh, it's purple. It's so bright.
Yeah, let me check. I didn't.
It is bright. It's like a bright. Ooh, even their animation on the bloop, bloop, bloop. It's great. It reminds me, oh my God. Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Grape Ape?
Yeah, I think. Wait, what did you say?
Grape Ape.
Yeah.
He's one of the bad guys, right? I think he's the bad guy. On Scooby-Doo. That's what it reminds me of, like Grape Ape. Grape Ape color.
Oh, goodness. I could see that.
It's really bright. I'm not saying that's not bad or good, but it's just really bright.
Yeah. It definitely. So before, their logo was kind of like the pound sign, the hashtag symbol, which kind of related to their channels. But now they created just like this interesting, they wanted to be unique, I guess. And now they have this combination of like a waterfall droplets with just like dash lines. It's definitely interesting, different. And so I don't know. It's, as far as a unique mark, they've done a great job. As far as, I missed their old logo just because I kind of like how it looked before. So that's the only part that seems a little different. Yeah, like it was great. It was like a nice, I like how the colors overlapped over one another. Yeah. Now this logo just looks very, I don't know, I think water park-ish, or like drink campaign, like a drink, soda drink or something. So it's different, but is it memorable? I'm not sure. For me, I'm more of where the memory product kind of builds its branding itself, where like over time, not you don't choose what you remember, but the longevity helps the brand more than anything. And so we'll see if this new logo stands the test of time.
Yeah.
Very interesting. The other quick, just a headline is that Adobe, they announced that they're offering a residency. So they have an application where you could do a 1-year residency for Adobe. Pretty much, I believe it's just like a contract. I'm thinking that it's just a 1-year contract position at Adobe, but they're paying you a year's salary. And so what you would have to do is go on their website, and there's a form to fill out. And so you can have the opportunity to work for Adobe, creating a bunch of different stuff. I don't know if they have a specific field like, illustration, design, or UX. I don't think it's that specific, but try it out. Why not get paid to work with Adobe for a year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great.
That link will be in the headlines or in the show notes.
Show notes, headlines. Here we go, headlines. Yay.
And so that's all I got for just the headlines.
Nice. All right. So let me guess. You have a couple articles, right? Since we always do articles.
Yes, I do.
I really like doing the article because I think that brings different discussions and just because an article can be anything. It can be design, it can be art, it can even be about art history too, because everything does blend together in one way or another. So what is your article?
So my article is really not an article. It's a even though you went through that whole thing. The first one,
counteract what I say. Nice going.
Okay, I can go. Well, it's just that my last two are articles, and so I figured this first one, just the way he structured it.
Okay.
So this first one it's like a funny little website. It's called dimensions.guide. And what it is pretty much a website that has pretty much, I guess they want to categorize and measure everything. So if you look at the website, it's separated.
Cool.
Yeah, like it's separated into categories. You get to choose from a bunch of different ones, like animals, humans, plants, even digital or buildings. And so let's say, for example, you click on the building category. It'll have the different parts of a building. And then let's say like a door, some stairs, an escalator. And then so you could click on, let's say, escalator, and it'll just give you a bunch of different dimensional details about it. Like pretty much like if it was almost a blueprint, if you will. And so it'll give you like the angle of the rise of the escalator. It'll tell you how far between the beginning of the elevator to like where the slope starts, how tall it is, how high an escalator generally goes. Now, this is all general information, and so, or an average of the information. And what's interesting is that for some of them, not all of them, you actually get to download these schematics and use them for your projects. So for the humans, for example, they have like humans in different positions, like walking, standing, in yoga poses, and you can actually download all of them. And they'll also tell you, like, for example, exercise. Each of these different images they'll have, or I'm sorry, let's say sleeping. Each of these will give you just like a little descriptor of what it is. So it's kind of like a wiki in a way. So if you look at the sleeping category, it says sleeping positions refer to various natural postures to our bodies that our bodies take on when sleeping. Linked to our unique individual personality types, our sleep patterns and positions are often indicators that can provide insights to a person's character. And so then you'll see different sleeping positions, like the fetal position, the semi position, the funky back position, a starfish, they call it. And yeah, I love it. I think it's pretty fun and interesting. I want to see how they expand. It looks like if you look at their about page, it looks like they're interested in an affiliate program where different products can come to them and work with them to create products. So like if you go to the homepage, you start to see that where they have like actual IKEA's furniture, and so you can take a look at what IKEA like. This is a side table. You can see what its actual dimensions are, what it's made out of, the year it was made, and then you can download it in either JPEG, SVG, or DWG. So yeah, I thought it was an interesting website. Um, I don't know what the rules are. It doesn't have anything about like usage rights or licensing for it, but I'm assuming it says that you can use it for your project. So, and they give you the files to download. So, uh, I don't know. I don't know what they want you to do with it exactly, but it'd be cool if you could use it for your projects, especially wireframes. I think it's more for wireframing too. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think about dimensions.guide?
Well, I'm looking at the volleyball courts and the volleyball. if people that really know me well, they know what that comment means. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's really interesting regarding the animals. If you look, they have cats, dogs, safari. I want to look at the dinosaurs, man.
Yeah.
And when you look at the dinosaurs, oh, they don't do the front. I mean, like the front and back view. They just do the size compared to the human. But if you go underneath the safari, because I was checking out the rhinoceros, and they actually have the side, front, and back, and then having the animal lay down. So I think it's definitely it's cute.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they aren't that consistent with. Some of the animals, they'll have it in different poses.
Yeah.
And some of them they'll have like the dinosaur ones, they'll just have different dinosaurs in profile side view. What's kind of funny is that they have this T-Rex, and the person that they have to scale, it looks like it's what's his name? The guy from the Jurassic Park, Chris Pratt. Looks like they have Chris Pratt with his hand standing out pose for when he was doing that into the Velociraptors.
Yeah.
So he's using that. So it's kind of like a little cheeky thing. And then I think in some of the other ones, like the Stegosaurus, it looks like almost like a little Alan Grant character, which was in the first Jurassic Park with the hat. So it might not be, but I think it is.
Yeah,
so that's cute too.
And besides, this is going to be very educational for children too. You know, if you are a parent and your kids on board, well, look about this. Oh, you know, so it's a time killer with your kids as another one too. But it's cool though. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely can see them like making. I mean, these are all outline drawings, but they could easily use this to like make a quick poster that has all the dimensions on there for each. Like if they could do a dinosaur section and have each dinosaur in a poster with all their dimensions on it, and that'll make a kind of interesting poster for a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, that's dimensions.guide. Check it out.
Nice.
Terry, what do you got?
Ouch.
What happened?
Ouch. Sorry.
Are you okay?
No, not yet. No, actually, it's called icon8s.com. And when you go to it, it says, ouch. Basically, it's a free illustration to class up your project. And when you go, they have all kinds of subjects. They have all kinds of styles. And it's pretty cool. It's free. And I know you like free, right?
I do love it.
I know. So just go there. I'm going just to a subject like, ooh, payment processing. Let's see what that is. And you have all these cool little illustrations. And the reason why I like it is because I want to start doing some illustrations so I can take these illustrations as just subject matters and just practice. How do you do that? Or, you know, and just kind of have fun with it and practice.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So what do you think?
So a couple things. One that I like that it's I like that it's a bunch of different styles.
Yeah.
Like so you can get it from you can get pretty much, it's the same kind of flat uh illustrative style that we've been seeing, but some of these it looks like it's done in watercolor. Some of them it looks like it's done in like just like freehand digital drawings in Photoshop, and other ones kind of look like they're like just clean, simple shapes. So that's pretty awesome. I that's what I kind of do too when I need to like come up with, let's say for example, a payment processed kind of illustration, and I don't know exactly what to, like how do you conceptualize that. So then if you just look it up and see what other people do, and it's like, okay, well, this person has money flying away but they're happy about it. This one has like somebody's money being shredded. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I can kind of draw something in a similar vein.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I noticed is that they do offer it free, but there's a paid section where um, for it looks like about 19.90 a month, you
Mm-hmm.
get the digital version, like you get the actual SVGs as opposed to the pings.
Right.
And so for as a business person, I love this model. I love the idea that there's like, they have, I don't know if this was like they're all kind of related, but I like the idea of like, let's say you're a designer that creates kind of a digital illustrator that creates these illustrations, and let's say you had a couple friends that were also artists as well. You're like, hey, why don't we combine our forces? We start a website, put a subscription service, and then allow people to download our artwork, and then like you're just making it yourself. So here they kind of taking it away from putting it up on like an iStock site or one of these stock sites, and now
Yeah.
they kind of control the product themselves. And so I love that. I definitely love the entrepreneur idea behind this.
Yeah.
So
It's nice.
hopefully that's what's going on, but if not, it's still a great curated place all in one. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was neat, and you're free, and you can just get inspiration, because I know illustration is going to be big, 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 big. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely need to harness that as well. Very much harness that. So, what do you have, Adam?
So my first article, because article, is from the Next Web, and this is why most of 2018's tech predictions were wrong.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so it's kind of a cool article. So pretty much, we every year, even we do it. We kind of predict how 2019 is going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
While they were saying, how was 2018, and so they had some different predictions, and they said that kind of, or a lot of people had these different predictions, and a lot of them turned out to be wrong. And they're saying like why. And so some of the reasons that they kind of stated sort of was that, nowadays the internet is kind of this like really clickbaity type of world,
Mm-hmm.
where like people try to get those headlines, and headlines means dollars because you get through people come to your website and there's advertising there, and or you get a subscription model to have people see your website or whatever. And so because of our culture that's like this, people are so quick to come up with all these different this new big thing, and then you try to sell it, and because of that maybe we're overselling ourselves. And so I kind of agree with that. I think that is something that we do a lot. And there another thing is that innovation doesn't happen kind of as fast as we think. And I kind of agree with that. Like I feel like I'm always hearing news articles about like a new cancer treatment that there's like a new breakthrough of, and then you never hear from it again. And then kind of you end up realizing that these are like early tests, and so more tests need to be done to validate that. Then it needs to be approved by like the FDA or like an equivalent, and sometimes stuff like this just takes years before it actually hits the market and can be used. And so, we hear about all these new and great things, and we're thinking, oh, great, this will be our answer. And then, we'll hear it 5 years, 10 years from now, and then, where it's actually being put to use.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did kind of three predictions that people all got wrong. And so number one was that smart speakers were going to be a bigger thing than they were. So Apple released their HomePod, and these are these smart speakers where you kind of they have like these Alexas and these kind of Google Homes where you can talk to it and you can play music and stuff. And they did say that it was kind of like they did get a boost too. Like there was a lot of there were a lot of people that bought them, but that it wasn't like this revolutionary product.
Right.
And so yeah, I agree with that. I kind of feel like for me personally, I'm still not on the smart speaker bandwagon yet. Like I want less devices that I feel are tracking me and are recording my information and are listening in the background. I want less devices like that, and so I'm reluctant to get things like that. And so I do have a Bluetooth speaker, which I love, the one of those iHome ones. But yeah, but I don't know. I guess these smart speakers really aren't there quite yet. So that's understandable. I can see them kind of being well, they're still kind of expensive. I was gonna say maybe there's a big boost around Christmas, but I don't know. I don't have any data. Another one, number 2, was that cryptocurrency would be a lot bigger.
That bombed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but I have a friend of a friend
Mm-hmm.
that they spent like almost their like savings, 30,000
Wow.
in the crypto thing, right? And then they had a lot of money, and then he just lost it all. Oh, ouch. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, like I agree. Cryptocurrency, it seems like the future, right? It seems like we're just quite there, but it's just not quite adopting. And so, what's the reason? I don't know. I think that it's just kind of it's these startups that are kind of really doing it, and there's no like security behind them, and it's so volatile, and nobody is really getting behind it. There's no big financial kind of company that says, hey, yeah, let's do this. And it hasn't been like a really, a Bitcoin, I think, has probably been the most consistent, but even then their stock crashed like crazy, or their dollar value or crypto value. And so like, what do you do? Like there's no, it doesn't seem like it's a great easy transition. I feel like if as soon as I put my money in, I'm gonna lose it like like that week. Or like, oh, one crypto is 100 something thousand. Like what? How does that? Why is there like a big conversion difference? So this mining technology is still kind of like weird. It'd be great. Like I don't know. I would say if there was like a big well-known brand that came out with their own cryptocurrency, like a Merrill Lynch or like I don't know, some sort of big bank or financial.
Yeah, maybe in 5 years, maybe
Yeah,
money will go away.
then maybe I can see more people adopting it. But to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what it takes to. I don't know that much about cryptocurrency, so I'm probably just saying really something really dumb. So I don't know what I'm talking about. But
yeah, I don't know. All I know is a lot of people lost a lot of money.
yeah, I just know that it's super volatile, and like I wouldn't, it's not something that seems. It seems something new and still being worked out, and something that I don't want to invest time in until it's smoothed and worked out. So, oh well.
Yeah.
And the third one was that AR and VR would dominate, right? Which it didn't really, not really.
Not yet. Not yet.
So we've talked about this a bunch, and my position is still pretty much the same. Where, for me, I kind of consider this to be like a gaming device, and people already have to choose, like between Xbox and PlayStation. It's because these are big purchases. Some people can't afford to have both, and then even then, so to buy a third, kind of quote unquote gaming system, that seems like a lot. And so
Yeah,
I
a
can
lot of
see
money.
it. Yeah, I can see it kind of hard for people to invest. And a lot of these kind of game systems, they come out with like games launch titles that give you a reason to buy them. Like
Every
for
2 years, do they come out?
I don't think it's every 2 years. I'm not a gamer per se,
Well,
so
you're more a gamer than I am. I would
yeah.
not even
I just know.
know. What is like a year or something? A year
No,
and a half?
I'd say about, yeah, maybe every 2-3 years, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
But like when the latest PlayStation came out, I think PlayStation 4. I don't know. I don't know exactly. But they came
Four.
out with like they had the Spider-Man game that came out. That was like a big launch title, and that was a huge hit. And so the latest game to come out was like Red Dead Redemption 2. And for me, I almost bought a new gaming system just to play that game. Like that's how popular and great, that's how you entice people to do so. And I haven't seen that same kind of thing for VR AR,
Mm,
for a
that's
VR
true.
device. So it's like, like I've seen some cool stuff, but not like something backed by like these big gaming or big gaming or even movie studios that will give me a reason to buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it may happen in 2019 or 2020 or 2021 or
Yeah,
2022 or 2023 or
it's rumbling. It's another one that's like right there. It's just you just need that one kind of experience. Like if they build a world where kind of like even like a gaming Westworld, if you will, like where you are in you're a first person shooter that that maybe it was done by Rockstar or something. If they released a VR experience game, then yeah, I could see tons of people adopting it. But
yeah.
I don't know, I'm just not there yet. But yeah, what do you think about our kind of failed tech predictions?
It's funny because when I read I read an article, and then after that, I'm all the Magic 8 Ball. It just reminds me of the Magic 8 Ball. Like something happens, you're not sure, so you shake it, and you get a thing like, may happen and may not. So again, everybody that's doing their prediction, including us for 2019, is like, we're the Magic 8 Ball, or we're the same. So when you shake the Magic 8 Ball, boom, it pops up. So maybe we'll be right. Maybe we won't. I don't know. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
market,
interesting.
it's such a gamble, right? Like that's why everything is a gamble. That's why movie studios are so like they kind of have an idea of what'll be a success, but even like the Star Wars, it's kind of bombing. Apple is losing billions. Like we really don't know what we're doing out there. We have a good guess, but
Yeah,
it's technically the digital Wild West out there. So
pretty much. Yeah, but that's all right.
yeah,
Um, A, it makes fun, and two, we all get job security.
yeah, that's true.
Because if they do something and it doesn't work, then you do it again.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, then you do it again. Then you sniff it out more with the users. So we're good in our industry, I think. It's
Yeah,
just,
there's
it's
always
just
going to
gonna
be
be,
new products.
yeah, yeah.
There's
It's
always
just
going to
gonna
be
be,
new startups. Sorry.
just gonna
Go
be,
ahead.
it's just gonna be changing all the time. That's all.
Yeah. So the article also includes predictions for 2019. So if you want to check that out, check out. What's it called? It's called "Why Most Predictions of 2018."
We're wrong.
Why most of 2018's text predictions were wrong from the new web. The link will be in the show notes. Terry, what do you got?
Okay, I am going to start with Evernote. No, it's not the Evernote that everybody knows about the app.
The elephant?
No, not the elephant. It's a dog. They have a dog up there. If you go
Dog.
to Evernote.design, there is basically, it says all-in-one bookmark links for designers. again, we are officially launching on Product Hunt. So you head over to Evernote.design and give us some hugs. So give them some hugs, please. So if you go through, they have everything you can think of. They have the menu. It's a little doggy. Actually, he's kind of cute. It says design inspiration, design news, design systems, UI resources, free icons, mock-up tools, color tools, gradient tools, stock photos, stock videos, learn design, design tools, prototyping tools, wireframe, illustration, typography, background, design books, and design podcast. So it's pretty cool. It has all these fun stuff about, if you go to design inspiration, Typewolf, the FWA, Lapa Ninja, Code My UI, CSS Winner, Best Folios, UI Sources, Panda, Nisha, Patterns, Landbook, Pages, Hixie, of course Pinterest. But it just goes on. Cody House. So it has, again, it's free and resources. And I'm looking at Learn Design. Again, Lapa Learn, better web type, Monday. Learn UX, Inside Design. Laws of UX, UX Movement, Good UI. It just goes on and on and on. And that's why I really love this thing, because it's like cool. So what do you think, Adam?
Yeah, it looks awesome. So we've shared a few kind of like resource sites that'll help you with, and I use designer notes or design notes.
Yeah, design notes.
When
yeah,
you shared it last time. But this seems like a really extensive list. Like this has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So it looks way, way, way much more than I've seen from other ones. So this is kind of cool. I definitely like that. I did notice that if you go to illustrations, there's Ouch right there, which you talked about earlier. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, and they have avatars, which is the kind of like mix and match.
Yeah.
You could sort of create your own avatar. And you also have Pablo Stanley's Humans that we talked about like a couple weeks ago too. So that's awesome. Although one little thing that I see that they're missing, I went to their podcast section and I don't quite see Ramblings of a Designer.
I know. Well, maybe we should email them. What do you think?
I kind of already did. But maybe if you email them as well, maybe we can convince them to put our little show on there as well.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But then again, we're like up against like with Debbie Million.
I know.
Miller, like, oh my gosh, she's like the goddess of design.
Yep. I definitely listen to Shop Talk. I didn't know that Google Design had their. Actually, I did know, but
yeah, they have that.
I never really listened to it. So maybe I'll check it out. Now I'll probably check it out. And then I haven't listened to some of these, and so I'll definitely check them out, which is awesome.
Yeah. I like, what is wrong with UX?
That sounds like the podcast for me, actually.
I kind of like this. Is like Kate and Laura drink and fight about what is wrong with user experience design. It's like, I like that. That's like raw to the bone. It's nice.
And if we have listeners out there and if they want to help us out and maybe, send Evernote.design a kind of little note that'll help us out too, why not? I'm just throwing it out there. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Awesome blossom. Okay, so tag your it. So what other articles do you have?
So my last article is from the Creative Block, and it's called 6 Trends That Are Changing the Face of Mobile UI Design. And so we've been talking a lot about trends, and this list is kind of like something that it says that they saw start bubbling in 2018, and that'll probably really take shape into 2019. And so it's a list of, I think, 5 or 6. And so the first one that they have is gesture-based interfaces. And I definitely see kind of more trends going this way, kind of like moving beyond the button and getting into just gesture-based interfaces where
Yeah, I
everything's a
agree.
swipe and left. Although I don't see it for everything. Like I still feel like sites that need to have some sort of security, maybe it might not be like the best thing, like swipe right to confirm payment or to transfer your funds. I don't know if I guess we'd have to just see where the appropriateness is, but I definitely feel like the kind of swiping to get to the next thing is like it's quick and easy, and it's the way to go. As long as we come up with a universal kind of system that we can all follow, then that'll be great. So number 2 was Face ID. And this is the idea where like since Apple has this has the ability to use your face to unlock your phone, that maybe that can continue where instead of having a password, we use your face. So personally, I don't care for this idea. I definitely see the use, but they've shown where your face isn't as always secure, where somebody could easily use their face. Maybe somebody that kind of has similar facial features, or maybe the way the light hits on another person in a way that it'll unlock it for you. And so having the ability of using just the face, I don't agree with. Maybe as like a 2-point, 3-point validation, maybe. But I don't like the idea of having your phone recognize your face that much. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about Face ID?
I like it because I don't have to put in my code, and that's just me being lazy, because you just go boom, okay, and you're in. It's like you don't have to wait.
You smile and it goes click. Oh, that's you.
That's like one less thing I have to wait in line for. Because when you go shopping, you have to wait in line. If you want to do this, you have to wait in line. If you want to do that, you have to wait in line. But just to get in your apps, boom, you're in. It's like, oh, nice.
Have they tested if like you can use the picture of your face to unlock the phone?
Try it out.
I know. I have to see. See, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I don't have the latest iPhone that uses it, but I don't like it, and so I don't want to use it.
Yeah, you know what? Just tell Apple how you really feel, right?
Yeah, Apple, give me my earphone jack back.
Oh, grow up.
Give me my USB drive back.
Grow up. Oh my God. Okay, moving on.
All right.
No grab.
The next one, number 3, is neutral interfaces. And
that's a nice one. I like that.
Yeah, that's sort of what we've been talking about, where kind of everything's kind of moving minimalistic, and everything's kind of a stripped down version. And so I like that also because I think it makes way for creativity in different ways. So using illustration and empty states, and relying on interesting typography to send your message is definitely a way to help that out. And so yeah, that I didn't realize it was called neutral interfaces, so that's good because I didn't know that.
You learned something.
Yeah.
That's a prime example how our UX industry, or just in the creative industry, you learn something new, either jargon or a technique or a website or a talk or a point. You just keep on learning. It's like an access of, like, we're all sponges, and little water, little drip, you just learn. Sorry, yep. I got excited. Okay, continue.
So yeah, but they did mention that now, since everything is very minimalistic, that it kind of all starts to blend together and look very similar. And so that's sort of like a problem as well that we start seeing. But we're finding eventually that'll churn its way around and help us find ways to go around that.
Yeah.
Number 4 is animated visuals. And so we've been talking about this a lot too, where everything is going to be animated in the future. I feel like.
So. I agree.
Yeah. And so I definitely agree. We've been talking about that a lot. So that's, I feel like that's kind of the future. Number 5 is chatbots. So this is kind of interesting. I do like the idea of having a chatbot. I don't like how it is kind of now, where like as soon as you go onto a website, you kind of get bombarded by like the top things, like, oh, sign up for our newsletter. Oh, this other thing, get a discount. Oh, then the chatbot comes up and you're like, oh man, like just relax, let me breathe for a second before you start bombarding me with all these things. Like I want to get to my content, but you keep blocking it with all your stuff. Maybe, but I definitely love the idea of having like an AI interface that you can kind of talk to in like an easy way, where you can easily say, look, this is what I'm looking for. How do I unsubscribe from your service or something? And then having just an easy step-by-step, or something that talks to you in an easy, realistic way that you can be like, oh, okay. Or even where it's like, hey, I want to unsubscribe from your email newsletter. My email is this. And they go, oh, okay, I see you want to unsubscribe. You are now unsubscribed. Oh, that'd be amazing if the chatbot can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so
I agree.
I think it would go a long way for like helping you avoid the frequently asked questions section, and it'll be great to. And you could definitely use this as a just as a log to see what people are asking about. What is the common query that people keep asking about?
Mm-hmm.
And are people upset about it? What is their feeling? Because you can kind of see how they treat the chatbots sometimes. Sometimes I'm a jerk to it, whenever you get the opportunity. And so if you see people like, okay, they're really upset or just real inquisitive, or they don't know what's going on, they just need simple help, you can be like, okay, we can gauge the emotion of the user this way. So I like the idea. Yep. What are you going to say?
No, the chatbot. My mom, we went to a website and she said, oh, somebody's on at this time. This was like, no, Mom, that's not a real person. What do you mean that's not a real person? So I had to explain what a chatbot was. A chatbot? What's a chatbot? So basically, a chatbot's not, no, Mom, or chatbot's not a real person. It's just a fake person that pretends to be a person. It's like Siri, or it's like Alexa. Oh, okay, but it was kind of cute though.
Like it'll be great to have a chatbot that can then escalate to an actual person, once something isn't solved, like after 5 minutes, a certain amount of queries, then you like, hey, would you like to speak to a live representative or something on chat?
Keyword, not working, upset, frustrated.
Yeah, like you're not getting it. Oh, let's connect you to a
somebody.
Why don't you try talking to Greg in Minnesota, and maybe he can help you better. You go, oh, then you get transferred to a live person chatting, and then, oh man, that's awesome. In the future. So the last one, number 6, is augmented reality. And yeah, I mean, we also keep talking about it a lot, where mobile augmented reality. Mobile is the key. It's going to be in the future where.
Yeah, because everything's going to be here in our handheld devices for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be out and about and need it'd be awesome if, like you go to a restaurant menu, how they have the restaurant menu posted outside, but then you could use your phone and it'll have like the dishes in 3D that you could like have there. I don't know, something. We have so many different creative uses. And I feel like the thing that'll help people adopt it more is to have these is to have it on your device, as opposed to having it on a separate VR AR device that you have to buy separately. You already have your phone, it already has the technology, it's already mobile. if anything, they just need something where you could clip it onto your glasses or something, or
Yeah.
where it has like a case that you could pop out the glasses. And then I could definitely totally see that in the future, where like your iPhone case comes out with little glasses pegs for your ears, and then you just go click click, and all of a sudden you're wearing your device. But yeah, I definitely see that being the future. It definitely is great for planning things. Like if you want to buy something from IKEA, and you could easily just like, oh, but is it the right size? Like, how big is it? Oh, easily, bam. Especially
Yeah.
from Amazon. If I want to buy something from Amazon, I feel like I always get deceived on there, because there's so many different products that sometimes um, I'm buying stuff off the. I'm an impulsive buyer, and I buy stuff for like whatever. And then when it goes, sometimes I see something, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I want. And when I get it, it's like a quarter of the size it was supposed to, what I pictured in my head. And I go, oh man, I should have taken the time to read the fine print, or read the description to know the actual dimension. That's my
And the reviews.
Yeah, like I do read the reviews, and even then on Amazon they get deceptive sometimes. That's another story. We're going too far into it. But
Dark
uh,
patterns.
yeah.
Patterns.
But if I could have an AR where I can see the device, like put my hand out, there's like a little thing, I can see how big it is in my hand. Oh yeah, I will. That's exactly what I pictured in my head. Bam. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Terry, what do you feel about these six six trends that are changing the face of mobile UI?
Take a deep breath.
Yeah, I know.
Everything's gonna be all right. I think
For
you
some
just
reason,
got hyperventilated there with air. Too much air.
the title in my head was completely different from what I was reading, and then I was like, "What am I saying? I'm not. It's not. I'm saying words that aren't written on the. So whatever." Terry, what do you?
Mouth and brain didn't
Yeah.
go together. Definitely the gestures
Mhm.
and the neutral interfaces
Mhm.
and the animation visuals. I think those are going to be the three keys. Of course, chatbots will always be there. I mean, they'll just improve it. So, but I definitely see those other three. And then you have augmented reality, which is it's coming, but I think
Yeah.
not. I don't think that's going to be moving as fast as the other three that I mentioned.
I think the problem with VR devices or AR is that you have to download that you have to download their whatever specific um, app to do it. So maybe I don't know. Maybe is that a problem? I don't know, because I kind of feel like if I wanted to buy Nike shoes and I have to see how it looks, I guess because if you're already buying it on there, I don't know. I have to think about that. But it'd be great if that was already incorporated in your phone, so that um, different programs could just write for Apple's AR device, and so you could just pop it up automatically and it works. Instead of having to browse the, like if for example, to use like a QR code, you couldn't just view the QR code. You had to download an app that would then show you the QR code. Whereas, like if I just popped open my camera and then gestured over to the VR mode, and then I could just easily hover, go over a hotspot, and then the VR experience happens automatically. Something quick and easy. I don't think it's right exactly quick, but I do see that. I do see that why if you have your own personal app, have that experience in your app, that this helps with the engagement more. But I don't know. Um, I don't know. It's still getting figured out. Maybe that's why it's just so it's still in the works, I guess.
Everything's in the works, and that's okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's my last article. Terry, anything else?
Yeah, actually, I have one. Well, actually, I have two more. But
Oh,
anyways,
okay.
I'll do them really quick.
Mhm.
One is from UX Planet, using comic strips and storyboards to test your UX concept. I thought that was really interesting how Chris talks about using storyboards about your concepts and stuff. And then I don't want to get too much because I don't want to be like a spoiler alert, but he has really good um, graphs and flow charts of like storyboard versus comics. So what's the difference between the two, right? So
Mhm.
anyway, I'll just read one thing. He says, in summary, storyboards are tools created in order to guide the creation of something else. Comics are for format for visual storytelling. They are designed to be custom and are finished products in and of themselves. So I thought that was kind of a very interesting uh, point to, so what is the process, between storyboards and comics? I mean, are they the same or not the same? Because when you look at it, it's showing some kind of progression, right? A process of something. Like somebody's going through the park and picking up a bag, whatever. But it's just showing something. He talks about the process and then understanding it and script it and sketch it. So he gives you the process, actually kind of how to do it. And then he talks about the faces and supporting your story and test it, of course, and see how that does. So I thought it was a very, really cool read. And then I know you have comments on this in itself because that's what you major in college, pretty much.
Yeah, I definitely love the idea of having comicking out your user journey. Um, we've been talking a lot too about drawing and how drawing is very important, and that we're drawing more and trying to be as more as possible. And I love the idea of like using this kind of the journey to not only sell your client on it, but even sell just your different stakeholders on it, right? Like if you could put everybody on board with a simple like 3-panel, 4-panel kind of illustration or drawing or comic, then that's great. It doesn't take you that much time to do, and it's a quick and easy sell to get people to visually see where you're going for. Like, look, here's what happens in part A, part B, part C, and then here's this cool drawing in order to really like. I feel like that it's the illustration and drawings that is what's gonna sell it, because it's like a more especially if you try to do it as a comic where you do a semi-finished piece depending on your artistic level, but even then you can still come up with something that looks pretty realistic, even if it's just using avatars that aren't created by you, but like let's say those humans illustration that you could just plug in for the people. Then yeah, it's something that visually helps you sell your story. And that's why I really love just doing a quick sketch with people, doing brainstorms where I sketch in front of them. So I'm like, look, is this what you're talking about? This robot has this sheet of paper in his hand. Maybe not like that, but maybe that if you need to do an illustration, like, look, let's get down to the brass tacks, and if you could easily draw out your ideas, a quick sketch in front, it's fast, simple, easy. You have your clear message. Boom, bang, boom, boom, bam, bam, boom, boom.
Yeah, but in another way, you got to be a really good illustrator too, because sometimes when you're like, oh, I'm gonna draw it out, and it takes longer to draw it out than versus doing something else. So
right now,
exactly right.
But the more you do it, that's why if you do it for every project, bam, yeah, work on that speed. But you only get faster. The more you have to do it over and over again. So draw the same. There's only so many positions a person goes to. If you draw somebody facing left, they look the same facing right. So yeah, even, and you have Photoshop, most likely everybody does. You could easily, he's supposed to be looking to the left instead of the right. Well, let me just quick color in Photoshop. It's super fast as opposed to coloring on paper. Then you have that. You use the tools to make you faster.
iPad.
Also, once you drew the character once, you could draw it again. I mean, you could just use that same character again. So remember Billy walking down the street? Well, here's here's Billy walking down the street again, but his name is Sammy in this situation. So,
There you go. You put a hat on him.
yeah, color is shirt different. Yeah. Yeah.
Eyes. Okay, I have one more by Erica Hall, the famous Erica Hall. It's through Medium with a mule design. Research questions are not interview questions. So her first little subtitle is like, you can't just ask people what you want to know. Sorry. After reading that, I thought it was really cool. So anyway, she goes into different questions and everything, basically like your research question and how you phrase it, that pretty much determines what the outcome of the answer is going to be. And then because you start with a bad question or the wrong question, you won't get a very useful answer at all. So she continues to talk about that, like research questions, and she gives really nice examples and stuff like that. Qualitative versus quantitative, everything like that. Two kinds of data and interview questions, and she just kind of gives on really good samples about that. And I really enjoyed this article because she gave examples what was not a good question and how you can change that question into a better question. So if you're doing your own design projects and you want to ask questions, at least this is a really good guide for you to even understand or start season or not season as a designer. So what do you think? And besides, Erica Hall is really cool.
Oh yeah,
I like her stuff. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, did you know she's married to Mike Montero?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
She has to deal with all that cursing.
Oh, he's hilarious. He is.
He's a great
guy. Yeah. I did a presentation course with him. Paid a really shiny, nice penny, but it was so worth the money. It was, wait, when did I take that? About a year ago? Year and a half ago? I don't know. I can't remember. But that was the best money that basically I spent at his design facility at Mule. It was the greatest thing. So if you guys are in the Bay Area or up in San Francisco, go take his courses. Like I said, they are a shiny penny, but it's worth every single thing because he's real with you. He wants you to get better as a designer. It's awesome.
Well, also if you have a design team, I'm pretty sure you can kind of get your boss to kind of fork over the penny as a if they're willing to support your growth, as most companies are, you could easily offer that up.
Yep. Good one. But anyways, going back to the article, what did you think?
Yeah. Research questions are not interview questions. That totally makes sense. It's interesting how I forgot what I thought I saw where it was how user research and user testing are they said that are thrown around interchangeably, and they're not interchangeable, right? And it does make sense. Like I always thought that user research is kind of done like after the hypothesis. And user testing is more done like after the prototype, after the MVP. And so I can see where people often can confuse the two. Do you agree, right? Or you're quiet.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, everybody has opinions on different things, and it's a hypothesis, not the hypothesis, or basically it could be, or the base of it. So, yeah. I mean, I just think just the more you do it, the more it will come to at Heath.
Like I'm reading that Lean UX, and then they also talk about how.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
It's a pretty interesting book. I definitely like the idea. They're mentioning how they actually want you to assume. So I always make assumptions, and I always get my assumptions wrong. but their kind of philosophy is that, yeah, that's great. Assume as much as possible, because then you're proven to prove yourself wrong as much as possible. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I didn't think about that. But then I don't know, because I assume at life, you know, and so that's where it doesn't work out for me. But
Oh, that's funny.
but
I've
yeah,
never seen that life. That's hilarious.
but yeah, I definitely feel like there is a right or wrong way to conduct interviews, and right or wrong
Yeah.
way to kind of get questions, and to make sure that you're not leading kind of the user to kind of get your outcome, to kind of offer maybe open-ended questions that kind of
Yeah.
get their reasonings behind what they want, as opposed to just like, did you like it? Yes or no? You know, like just
Yeah.
really,
Did you like that color?
yeah.
It's kind of like in grade school or like in middle school. Ooh, do you like me?
They're
You know?
like, 9 out of 10 people love the blue color for the buy button, so it must really work. You know,
Yeah.
everybody loves the color.
Well, sometimes that does work. If that's the only information you got, right?
It depends on what you're trying to get out of the
Yeah.
what's your outcome that you're trying to do. It's not outputs, it's outcomes. That's also from the book too.
Yeah. Awesome. 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 So, that's it for me. What about you, Adam? That's it?
Yep, I'm done.
All right. Well, yeah. Oh, Adam, where can they find you?
You can find me at 6th Street and
You had to think.
my
Now you're scaring me if you don't know where you're
My
at.
apartment number is 8B, and no, I'm just kidding. You can find me on Twitter at Adan Zepeda. That's AdanZepeda, and I'm on Instagram at adanz.designs. What about you, Terry?
Before I go, I actually tagged you in Twitter a couple days ago, and you didn't reply.
I I, I
You
saw it.
didn't. You did
Well,
not.
for some reason, it's not notifying me that I got.
Oh, you should. That's
So I have
okay.
to like find you, because I don't know how to use Twitter all that much. So like,
Oh, you better start learning.
have to
There
like
you go.
search for your name, and then I got to get to your profile, and then I got to read the thing, and then I got, a lot of steps, and then I got to like find a way to
You
respond.
have to follow.
What was I doing Saturday night? I was watching a movie.
A movie. Okay.
Told
Well,
you, I got super distracted.
no kidding. If I didn't hear from you, and I even text you too,
Yeah, what
saying,
did I watch?
saying check your Twitter, and I just heard bird chirps. Burp, burp. Nothing.
Enter
Nothing.
the Enter the Dragon was on
Oh, nice.
Netflix, so I was like, oh, I gotta watch Enter the Dragon. It sucks because I wanted to watch Rumble in the Bronx, but then they took it. Yeah, I'm a Jackie Chan fan, but then they took it off.
Really?
So,
Enter the Dragon. That's a big clue.
well, Enter the Dragon's Bruce Lee, but yeah, that's his iconic,
Yeah.
film. But whatever. That's what I spent my Saturday night on.
Nice. All right, that's all right. I'll forgive you this time. But anyway, you can find me on Twitter, and my handle name is Floxenink, FLAXENINK. And that's all, folks.
Yeah, all these everything will be in the show notes. So if you have any questions, check that out, or contact us at ramblingsofadesignerpod@gmail.com.
And that's in the show notes too, I believe.
Yep.
All right, so that's it for now. And if you guys are in the Bay Area, stay dry and drive safe. Don't be honking your horn. Don't be speeding. Don't be texting. And then if you're outside of the Bay Area, have great weather and enjoy your day. So aloha.
Bye.